Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Mr. Leo55. I know I haven't uploaded an actual gaming video, but I like to do this so much since my girlfriend won. Uh, I decided to do another one because I think it's really fun. Um, so this one today is called My Stories and How I Met My Friends. So it's obviously how I met my friends, and it's the stories of how I met them and the stories with my friends. Um, There might be a lot of annotations in this video, so there will be um, in order from the left side of the screen, from the top going down to the bottom of the screen, going across, and then up the left side and across the top. It, I don't know. It'll just be numbered to make it easy. But we'll start out with my first friend that I remember having at least. His name was Kyle. Uh, I met him because he was my neighbor, and I went to his day. His mom owns a daycare thing at their house, so I met him at daycare, and he's my neighbor. Did I say that? But he is my neighbor, and I met him at his mom's daycare thing, because my parents obviously go to work, and they didn't want to leave me alone uh, with my sister, because my sister was kind of younger and she could stay alone, but she couldn't babysit me. And she would go out with friends a lot, unlike me. But Kyle and I played together pretty much every day in the summer because he was the closest, pretty much only friend I had, and we hang out in school, but I haven't hung out with him since last summer. And so we met at his mom's daycare thing, and he invited me to his birthday party the second year, I think, because that's when we started to get really good friends. We started to be really good friends. And that's also when I didn't have to pay to go to the daycare because I was just going over to, you know, just to go over and play. So I think he had, I don't know if it was an Xbox 360 or something, but I think he had a PS2 is what it was, and we would play the PS2 all the time because we both had one, but it's not like there was PS2 Live or something. So we played PS2 together up at his house, and that was like every day of the summer. And his cousin would come over all the time too, and we'd all three play. He had a lot of the Medal. I think they're the Medal of Honor games or something. And he had like some of the Call of Duties, and we'd play split screen on that. But I think it was the third summer that I started hanging out with him. Is when his cousin started filming, and we made the first video I've ever made ever. And this is what started it all for me. So if it wasn't for that summer and not meeting my friend, I wouldn't be here today with my 11 subscribers. Thank you, everybody, by the way. I know it's not much, but 11 works for me. So, um, but like I'm saying, if it wasn't for that summer and his cousin, I wouldn't be here today. So, Steven, Kyle, if you ever watch this, thank you so much for starting out my YouTube career. Now, we made a video called Playground Vengeance, and we thought it was the most epic thing ever. It's not on YouTube anymore. Um, I think YouTube either took down Steven's YouTube YouTube website. They either took down his YouTube channel or Steven deleted all of his videos in his channel or something. But if I could, I would watch them today. Because when you look back at the past videos you made, you either don't like them or you like them. I tend to like my old videos, except on one of my older channels. Um, so that's what got me started. Playground Vengeance, I was always the good guy, but Kyle was the athletic bad guy. I mean, Kyle is a little heavy set, but not very much. Not as heavy as me, but he was the athletic. He was like athletic to me because I'm big, and so I think the third one was the coolest, and I think the funniest. Third one is also the longest. Um, and it had first person stuff in it, was pretty, which is really hard to do, because it was about when we were maybe 11 or yeah, 10 or 11, and we couldn't figure out, but Steven just put the iPod in front of us, like, and walked behind us, which was really, really gay. But Playground Vengeance 1, I think, was the one that had the bloopers at the end, where no, okay, there's a bridge there now. It's like a big, just kind of long pile of hardened dirt, which is the bridge now, and stones. But there's a stream bed and at on Kyle's property, and before they had the bridge, it was about a 5 foot drop into the old stream bed, and there was a little overhang that he would jump off of. He jumped off of in the video, and there was a little trail around that. It was like a 3 foot long trail to get into the stream bed and out the other side. But Kyle jumped off, like he jumped out of it. I think this was. I can tell you another part of the video before is at the beginning of the video, but one of the kids that was getting babysat there was also in the video, named Zach. He was a couple years younger than us, maybe 1 or 2 years. But this is when we were about 6 or 7. Is when we made the first one, and I like to call this myself the year it began. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm not like Morgan Freeman naming all this stuff. I don't think even Morgan Freeman names stuff, but um, he jumped off that little overhang thing, and I was going to. I was like ready. I was running full pace in the shot, and as soon as I got to that little overhang, it was like looking down like a freaking building for me. Like I just got, I don't know if it's called like reverse vertigo or something. That sounds like a really dirty sex move. Um, but I try not to laugh. Dang. um, but I guess reverse vertigo, whatever. By looking down, I just stopped, like dead in my tracks, just stopped at the very end of that little overhang, and I just looked down and my arms hung. And that was in the bloopers. But so we refilmed the shot of him jumping off, and I ran down that little trail, and I just big chase scene. And after a little, I forgot about something. He has a trampoline in this opening. Like if you go around the trail, there's a little more of that woods there. Like it's kind of surrounded by trees, where that stream bed is. And if you go out of the other side where the bridge is now, and you make a right, which is still his property, and you run about maybe 30 yards, I would say. There's an empty spot of clearing, and then for another about 50 yards, there's another really small patch of trees there. And in that empty area, that little clearing, um, he has his trampoline and he had a hammock there. And um, maybe it's probably that clearing is probably about maybe 10 yards. It's not that big. It's maybe 50 feet at least long. It's probably not even 10 yards, but whatever. um, yeah, 10 yards would be 15 yards maybe. I don't know. I'm not doing math. But what was I saying? Yeah, he had the hammock, and in the scene when I was chasing him, I think it was in the bloopers. I really hope it was. I can't remember. He was running. Kyle was running, and he went clothesline. Like he just got clotheslined by that hammock, and he just kept running. And I didn't notice it until we watched the video again because I was looking at the ground. Um, but then after that scene, it was the scene where I fell down and I said I need some coffee because we thought that was funny when we were 9 or something. It's like I need some coffee. Oh, but it sounded more like I need some coffee because my balls hadn't dropped yet. I almost said haven't dropped yet. That would have been bad. But it sounds weird, but they have. Trust me. I don't want to show anybody. So, pervs, go away. Um, that was really stupid. Oh gosh. Uh, but then I got up again, and I never rode bikes because I got into a really bad bike accident when I was about 5, where I scraped up my whole entire leg, and it was just gushing blood everywhere. And I never wanted to get on a bike again. I haven't, but I have the chance to, and I just don't feel like riding a bike. I like scooters though. Scooters are kind of fun to do stuff on, I guess. I don't know. I ride scooters sometimes. Um, but he got on his bike and I had to chase him down. And after I got so tired when we stopped recording, I was like, this is gotta be the end of the video. So it was. Um, and I just knelt down on my knees and yelled no. Uh, and then the second playground vengeance, it gets better because we're older. We were about 10 at this time, and so second the second one starts out where I'm in the woods and Kyle's wearing kind of black camouflage stuff, and we had just seen the what was it? The laser series, like the I think it's called laser collection things. It's firing my laser thing, and I'm standing, but that'll come into play in a little bit. But I'm standing in the woods, and Kyle is behind a tree, and I say, "Come out, you coward!" And he throws a pine cone at me, and my line was, "Must have been those stupid squirrels." I know, right? And I keep walking. I just walk, and then I get into a little tiny like 5-second chase scene across the creek that he has where we were filming. And once we get up on this kind of hill in the woods where the creek is, on his property, it's kind of a hill. Yeah, yeah, it is a hill. I'm an idiot for saying that. But we're standing on the hill, and it's kind of like an old Western showdown for a second. And we just look at each other, and I pick up a stick, and I say, "I'm going to do this to you." I know there's a mushroom there, and Kyle says, "I'm going to do this to you," and he smashes the mushroom as in he was going to smash me. And then I pick up a stick and I hit it against a tree. I'm like, I see, this is what I'm going to do to you. And I hit it against a tree and it doesn't break. And I hit it again and it doesn't break. So I'm like, screw it. And I said, I'm firing my laser. And I threw this stick out like behind me. And then Kyle started running again. And wow, it was just insanely fun to do those videos, but it's stupid. And then I think that was the one where Kyle hides in the bushes after I chase him that part. And then I can't, again I oh there's the car chase scene in that one where he used to have these little they're kind of like little go-kart but they're bikes. They're go-kart bikes and you have to pedal. But we didn't pedal at all because he had a hill right outside the woods that we were filming in. And he had two of them. So he got in one and he went down that hill. And I got in one and I went down that hill too, like a car chase scene. And we thought it was like the most epic thing we've ever done in our lives. So we do the car chase scene, and I crash into a bush, but I still have to get up and go. Excuse me for that long moment of silence. My stomach hurts a little bit. Sorry, excuse me. Germophobes is not gonna come out of the screen. Calm down. So, and then I go into the woods, and he's not there. So that's when the second one ends, and the third one starts out. We're in a fort. No, 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 no. Okay, I'm an idiot for saying this. I'm sorry if you get confused, but we start out and we're walking through the woods that where it ended. It's supposed to be sometime later, I guess, and this video never made it onto YouTube. but it was really awesome. And we were about maybe 11, probably next summer then. And Kyle got a really cool camouflage mask that he wanted to use. So he found it in a tree, and before that I said, "Hey you, I know you from somewhere." And then I start chasing him, and then I chase him into a fort thing. And this was supposed to be a funny part, I'm pretty sure. He gets no, we're staring at each other in a fort, and he's kneeling behind a pallet, and I'm kneeling on the other side, and we both look up at the same time, and we go back down, and we both double take, and I think Kyle punched me, quote, in the face, and he ran away, and I start chasing him up a trail, and I get hit in the no, he grabs a branch and he flings it into my face, which I almost freaking got hit in the face. I was like scared to death, and I pretended to fall down like I got hit in the face, and um, then the next scene was I woke up and he was like kind of like in the tree line, and he starts running away, and I get up. It's another little chase scene, and there's a lot of chase scenes in this, and it's like 20 minutes in, isn't it? And I'm still in the first friend, and I got like two. Um, and what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and I chase him out of the tree line, and I say, "I'll get you someday." But the funny line was supposed to be during after that line. I say, "But maybe tomorrow, 'cause I'm really tired right now." And it was supposed to be the funny line, but he cut out early, and we never knew until he put it on the computer. And then I chased him again, like I saw him at a different day apparently or something, and it was he used to have this big field. It's still there, but it was overgrown, and there was a trail just kind of cut through it with like maybe a lawnmower or something into the woods were my woods. So I chased him then down that trail. No, he chased me because he got a gun, and he traced me. He chased me through that trail, and he tackled me so many times. When I could have been a football player. I could tell you that right now because I didn't fall once. He just jumped onto my back, and I kind of threw him off, and that was about he did that maybe two times, and I'm really stuttering. I apologize about that, everyone. And what was I gonna say? Um, and then there was a scene. It was the very last scene. It was the first person scene. I can't remember a lot of the rest, so this is just gonna be the last scene, I guess. Um, for the Playground Vengeance 3. So it was the first person scene where Kyle is in my woods, and I have a gun, and it's the first person shot again. I'm an idiot. And I'm walking, and Kyle pretends to clothesline me from behind a tree. And then it goes black, and there's a heartbeat kind of sound at the end. And that was the end of Playground Vengeance. And only two made it on YouTube. The third one, I don't know where it is. It's probably on Steven's computer, maybe even still. But again, I would like to thank you, Kyle and Steven, and not really Zach. Sorry, Zach. For starting my YouTube career. Um, but if it wasn't for you guys, again, I would not be here today. So moving on to my second friend, Matthew. I do videos with him now. If you've seen Matthew's POV stuff, um, I met him in school because oh, you know what? I'll do Ryan first because Ryan's is a short story. In second grade, there was a kid named Ryan who sat across from me, and we became really good friends. And we were such good friends in second grade that we had to get separated a couple times, but we always got put back together because uh, table moving stuff. And oh, I just got a text, but I don't know where my phone is. Where did I put that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Um, oh, maybe it does, but I don't know. Um, But yeah, he introduced me to Matthew. So this is friend number three. He introduced me to Matthew in third grade, and Matthew and I are still best friends today, and I hope we can still last for a long time because he's really nice, and I don't know if he thinks I'm nice. He probably does. I don't know. I don't know what Matthew thinks. But he and I got into a fight. If you can remember in the girlfriends video, I said there was that friend that got into a fight with me, or that we got into a fight. I mean, and it wasn't like fist fight, like I'm gonna freaking kill you. It was I talked behind his back like an idiot, and I feel really bad for it because I didn't want to lose Matthew as a friend, and I was being stupid little gossip girl. Um, and I talked to Ryan about Matthew behind his back in sixth grade. So we weren't friends for a couple months after that, but I'm glad that he forgave me. Um, but I met him because of Ryan, and I went to Matthews for the first time when I was about third grade. So I can't remember how old I was in third grade, but and there was a video that I posted on my channel for one day. It was like a limited time only offer, and it had like one view on it. It was called the Nerd Talk Show with Jared and Matthew, and I talked about meeting Matthew for the first time and going to his house. But when I went to the house for his first time, when I went to Matthew's house for the first time, excuse me, um, I found out that he really liked the Legend of Zelda. Hold on a second, man. Sorry if you hear background noise. My computer sounds like it's gonna blow up. He really liked the Legend of Zelda, so and I didn't know that, and he told me about it, and he told me a lot about it. So he had some wooden swords he bought at like some kind of medieval, I don't know, like I don't know, some toy store probably. I don't know. And he had some wooden swords, and so we played Legend of Zelda outside at his house, and I was Link, and he played all the other characters. And when he played Zelda, I remember asking him, "Zelda, will you marry me?" And then after that, I had to say, "I don't actually want to marry you because you're a boy." I don't know if he remembers that, but that was hilarious. Like I whispered to him, "I don't actually want to marry you because you're a boy." And oh, that was not the good days because that was the awkward days. But just recently Matthew had a birthday party. Yeah, it was the best birthday party I've ever gone to. We watched what was it called? The horror movie about the kid. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can see it. I can see the name of it. So I don't know why I was snapping my fingers. I'm like jazz applause. Um, oh, Insidious 2. And that's the movie that we watched, and it was really funny. Not the movie, but it was really funny with the jokes that we made about it. And Ryan, Matthew's cousin, and another friend I met, um, Johnny, was there. My only friend named Johnny. The only friend with a really common name, at least, next to Ryan, maybe. I don't know if Matt. I don't know, but you see more. Oh, my phone's right there. Okay. But Matthew's birthday party was really awesome. He. Oh, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm an idiot because I just looked at my phone and I read the text. It was from Courtney. Not your real friend. If you couldn't remember from the last video. Uh, so I met Johnny there, but at Matthew's birthday party, and this is the first time I had talked to his cousin in person. And when I got there, Matthew was playing GTA with his cousin Katie on the couch. And that was the time that I think Matthew was dating a girl named Katie she's a complete psychopath, I can tell you that right now. Matthew, if you watch this video, you gotta comment on how psychopathic and stupid she is. And I think she broke up with Matthew. Matthew broke up with her on Valentine's Day, I think. I can't remember. But that's all I remember. Anyways, back to the birthday party story. Matthew was playing GTA. And Ryan showed up. We were playing Flappy Bird till like 9, and my high score in Flappy Bird was like 3, and Ryan got it to like 13, I think. And Matthew has a little brother. Um Matthew should also comment about this. He sounds like somebody kicked him in the nuts so hard his nuts went back inside of him really far. And you know how you can get those really high pitched squeaky toys for your dog or something? Just imagine that, but talking in that like tone, pitch thing. And he's really annoying. He thinks he's king of the freaking world, and he's very stuck up. I don't even think his mom likes him, probably, but sometimes she gets really angry at him, and it's funny. But back to the party, and his little brother was there, and he was playing Temple Run or something, and he's just like, yes, 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 I'm beating my high score, or something like that. And sorry for you headphones users, or maybe even if you're not using headphones, I don't know how loud that'll be. Um, sorry. uh, and then that's when Johnny showed up. Excuse me, and his mom started pouring snacks into a bowl, and that's when I found out also that Johnny was a really big Doctor Who fan. So that's why he's a really good friend now too. On Facebook, we've been doing wait what? On Facebook, we've been talking about Doctor Who and sharing Doctor Who pictures. And if you couldn't tell, I'm a nerd. You should see my shirt right now. It's covered with Marvel or DC superheroes. I think it's DC. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't pay attention to which company makes them because they're both cool. Um, but it's DC. Excuse me, DC. Because I'm pretty sure Batman's DC. I know I'm an idiot for saying that, but I'm just saying it might be DC, might be Marvel, but I don't really care because I like them both. Um, so Johnny showed up. His mom started pouring the snacks, and we were eating those snacks like crazy. And then that's when we watched Insidious. Yeah, that's when we watched Insidious. And then we just started messing around. Um, that's when the war happened. The war was so much fun. I think it was against Johnny and Ryan, and it was me, Katie, Matthew, and Michael. No, it was Johnny, Michael, and Ryan, I think. And we just pulled pranks on each other. And but there was times of peace during the war where we sat on his stairs. It was like the place to be, man. Like that's where you went to hang out. You went to the stairs to hang out, and it was really awkward the next morning because I woke up and everyone else was awake. I think that's what happened, and I was asleep, and everyone just looks at me as soon as I sit up. I'm like, oh hey, and they're all like hi, kind of like they were like some kind of clone army that says everything the same. But I think Johnny might have woken up at the same time as me, but I can't remember. And that night, Johnny and I think Matthew slept downstairs. And I think I was gonna fart in Matthew's face, but Matthew woke up and I ran away real fast. Um, because Johnny dared me to fart in his face. I think that's what happened, at least. Because Matthew was sleeping on the couch and I was sleeping on the other couch, and Johnny slept on the floor. And Johnny and I were awake for about another hour, and he's like, "Dude, I dare you to go fart on Matthew's face." So I'm like, "Okay, why not?" So I went up real quiet, and Matthew was like his face was um looking at the ceiling, I guess you could say. And I was just about to rip one, and Matthew woke up, and as when I started running away, the fart came out, and it sounded really funny. But so that's my story with Matthew. Um, my third friend would be that I'm going to mention is, or my fourth friend would be Spencer. Spencer was in my Far Cry 3 Let's Play, but I don't know if I can't remember if I took it down or not. But because it's really crappy audio. Because my Elgato, I didn't fix the setting on my Elgato, but he's been in a few of the Nips Clan videos. Yeah, definitely all the Nips Clan videos. Um, He's the guy that said I like trains who got hit by a train. That's my favorite Nips Clan video ever. It's still on my website for the Nips Clan page. Um, it's just funny. Um, and Spencer I met in sixth grade in social studies. He sat he it was right beside me in social studies class, and we all had separate desks, but they were in rows. So he sat beside me, or right beside the person in front of me, and we talked a lot. And that's how I met him. I went to his house once. Yeah, the one time, and we did some Nerf stuff with his little brother that was annoying also. And um, that was the only time I went to his house. I could have met Jer there, one of my other friends. I could have met him there. And there was another. He's not really my friend, so I'm only listening to people that I hang out with or and talk to frequently, or really just people I like a lot. Um, and the first two really don't count because I don't talk to them anymore. Really, kind of lost contact with them. But anyways, uh, so I met Spencer in sixth grade, and I went to his house and played Nerf, and that's really that. Um, and we hang out a lot too. The last time I talked to him was hmm, kind of close to after when my uncle died. It was probably July 15th, maybe is when I talked to him last when he came over. Um, and I'm planning on getting all my friends together for a end of the summer party before I go to Chicago for my cousin's business trip for his gaming company stuff or gaming website. That I'll mention that gaming website in a different video, but so yeah, I'm just talking about Spencer. Anyways, moving on to friend number five. His no, yeah, friend number five I met in sixth grade also. His name is Colby, but I don't talk to him much, but I just felt like I should list him. He sits by us at lunch a lot. I sit by him because at lunch we stick to where we sit, and if those seats are taken, we have to sit somewhere else, and we don't like it. So when those people go dump their food, we go to reclaim our territory. We like to call it, if you will, the I like to call it at least the gaming territory because, like always in school, there are the separations of the popular kids, the special kids, the um, the outcasts, different graded outcasts, um, the book club, uh, Girls United, I think is what Colby called it. Is just a big table of girls. Um, and the Salad Eaters, I think is the name I came up with them. But we are the gamer nerd area. We're not really a nerd area, but I'm a nerd. Matthews is a nerd. So that's where Jer and Spencer sit with us now in the gaming section. I don't know if they're gonna sit with us still, but they used to sit in like NerdCon area, but I don't know if they'll sit if they sit there now anymore or not. But school hasn't started, so I guess we'll see what comes of it. Um, Colby I met in sixth grade because over the Xbox, and I didn't know who he was. And I came into school the next day. I'm like, "So you're Colby, right?" And he's like, "Yep," because he has a real deep voice. That wasn't really a perfect Colby. It was more like he'd be more like, "Yeah, that's me," something like that. So that's how I met Colby, and now I talk to him at lunch when we sit there. So, um, I'm doing a lot of hand movements. It's really weird off camera. It's just stupid. Um, but also friend number six would be yeah, number six, right? Jer, uh, or Jeremiah or Jer Bear. Um, Jer I met this year or yeah, past year, seventh grade. Um, we started being friends maybe halfway through the year, because that's when we sat beside each other in math class. That's when we got moved together, and we became really good friends. Um, I think I'm better friends with Jer than Spencer, definitely, because I do more stuff with Jer. Jer seems to be more free, I guess, if you would say. So I tend to do more stuff with him. I do stuff with Matthew and Spencer, but not as often because Jared just seems like he's never doing anything, and he always asks me to do stuff. But I met Jer because he was friends with Spencer, and Spencer got moved behind Jer halfway through the year, and Jer got moved in front of me. No, Jer got moved in front of me. Jer, I'm an idiot. I'm truly an idiot. I'm sorry. I apologize. Jer got moved in front of me, and Spencer got moved beside Jer in the front row, and I was in the second row, beside Matthew's ex-girlfriend, psychopath again. May I add psychopath a second time? Um, so we started really bonding. Then is when we started talking a lot, and we started this little group, I guess you would, if you would say, of just friends that actually were friends, not swear buddies or something like that. Um, Jared and I hang out again, like I said, a lot, and he's in that Defo Notice video. I don't know what happened to that channel. I guess I deleted it on accident, so I'm not gonna upload to that one anymore. I apologize about that. He was in that Defo Notice video. He was the guy that was wearing the mask. You didn't see it. Yeah, you did. First clip, I think, or first or second clip, you saw his face. Um, so that's Jer. He's been in. I think that was the only video he's been in of mine. I was gonna say he might have been in one of my Nips Clan videos, but he wasn't. Um, so moving on to friend number 7, or no, 8. Excuse me, I'm getting really off track. Um, Dante. This is the guy that got me up with my girlfriend now, or the or this is our second relationship, which I did all on my own. But the 1 day relationship, if you remember from the girlfriend video, uh, that was at the end of the year, and Dante dared me to ask Courtney out, so I did. But I met Dante at the beginning of the year in 7th grade. He was the new kid, and about a week into school, he started really talking, and he and I have math class together and language arts together, and so oh, I was gonna say he's kind of the friend that I we do dirty jokes a lot. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't do dirty jokes. Excuse me for my stutter. I'm not saying that I don't do dirty jokes. I say dirty jokes with all my other friends. That sounds like I am hooking up with my. I'm not. Okay, just calm down. I'm not gay. Uh, I we talk about dirty things. I guess maybe that sounds even worse, but bad jokes. There, bad jokes. We say bad jokes to each other. I guess. Um, he's he's a good friend though. He's a good guy. He's also my gun friend. He knows a lot about guns like I do, and he's also my car friend. He knows a lot about cars like I do also. And yeah. um, so it's really I don't have any stories with Dante. I never went over to his house. He never came over to my house. So moving on to friend number 8 or 9. I can't remember. I'm losing track, but Dylan L. I almost said his last name, so I'm not going to say that. But Dylan I met in 6th grade. He was in my social studies class too, and I think he was in a few of my other classes. He was in my special classes this year, and he was in my math class, and he was in a couple of my ninth periods, and he was maybe in my language art. Yeah, he was in my language arts ninth period, or well, he was in with my language arts teacher ninth period with me, and our math teacher's ninth period with me, and I think that's it. Yeah. Phew, I forget. Um, Yeah, but yeah, really, I just meant Dylan in sixth grade. We just talk. He's kind of like a friend of mine, like Dante's, but that's it, really. Um, well, that's pretty much the people that I talk most frequently with. I could have listed Shane, but the video, it seems like it's like an hour long now, probably. So I'm not going to do that. But if you would like another How I Met My Friends, I'll do Shane. That sounds really bad. I will put Shane in the video, and I will put Jubby in the video, and uh, I think I have maybe two more people I can list. But anyways, thanks guys for watching. If you watched through the whole video, thank you. And again, like I said in the last video, I am going to get Destiny hopefully when it comes out. Um, limited edition or ghost edition, I don't know yet. GameStop is all weird with stuff like that. But thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you got confused with this video, I'm sorry. There's a lot of annotations, but bye. Bye.